Hello and welcome to News Now on iBrandTV. My name is Margaret Opera. Here are some stories we are tracking at this hour. The Lagos State government has ordered the arrest of the developer and other building professionals working on the collapsed 7-story building in the Victoria Island area of the state. The order came from the Lagos State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Idris Salako, during his visit to the site on Sunday. According to the Commissioner, the developer and other professionals violated the state's planning laws. Disclosing that investigation has been initiated to determine the cause of the building collapse, Salako said the police are on the trail of the developer and all professionals involved in the project, such as architects, builders, and engineers. The statement noted, the Commissioner expressed concern at the level of disregard for the law in the build sector, affirming that the state government will restore sanity and orderliness to the sector because it has zero tolerance for building collapse. To further discuss this, Managing Director and CEO of Lagos State Development and Property Corporation, LSDPC, Honorable Ayodeji Joseph, joins us via Zoom. Hello, thank you for joining us on News Now.
Thanks for having me.
All right, now, in May, precisely, we had the story of a collapsed building in Lagos State. In Ebute Metta, in August, there was another building collapse in Bariga that claimed some lives. And now a 7-story building collapse. Do we blame it on negligence on the side of authorities saddled with the responsibility to cross-check and approve, or the use of substandard materials from the side of the owners and developers?
Well, I think the developers should be, blamed. Why am I saying that? When you go around Lagos, you see some people working at weekends when they know the monitoring authorities would have closed, for the week, thereby trying to cut corners. And if you realize most of these buildings that collapse, they don't even have planning approval. We heard about the one yesterday. I think they only submitted their application. They never waited for approval. So I think our monitoring team should also, try to do more so that all these people, can be arrested even before there's any sort of collapse.
All right, now just list some of the places we've had this collapse in recent times. In May, we had the Ebute Metta. I'd already mentioned that. In August, same year, 2022, we had in Bariga. While in November 1st, 2021, we had the Ikoyi building collapse. Now, stories of arrests were in the news, but till now, we've not had a follow-up story to that effect. So what can you say about that? Can you hear me? Hello, are you?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I said I'll just highlight some of the building collapse. In May 2022, we had the one in Ebute Metta. In August, we had in Bariga. This claimed some lives. And on the 1st of November 2021, we had the Ikoyi building collapse that claimed a lot of lives too. And we also had stories of arrests being made. Until now, we don't have a follow-up stories to that effect. So I'm trying to get your thoughts on that.
Well, for the Ikoyi one, which almost everybody knew about it, I think there's a white paper on it, and I think the government is actually working on it so that to curtail future collapses.
But it's been almost 1 year, and this collapse is almost 1 year now, and the collapse are incessant.
I didn't get that.
I said it's almost 1 year now. It happened in November. And this is almost 1 year to that. And this collapse has been incessant. So when you said the government is working on it, I'm trying to ask, what exactly is the government doing?
Well, even as of today, one of the officers from physical planning was even in my office. Okay. And we're even talking about it that, they are even being investigated. They are still talking to them about it. I think the Ikoyi one was a very big one. And I think whatever lessons to be learned will be something that will affect Lagos State as a whole. And I want to believe there will be more stringent measures that will come from the white papers, that was produced for that of Ikoyi, so that they will use that to curtail, future future collapses too. It's not something that I feel they need to rush.
Okay.
So I think that's the reason why it's been delayed. But I know anytime from now, I even believe that, they would have started, implementing some of it. Because when they start implementing, it's not something that, they will need to announce on TV or on radio that they started doing something about it. But I know the government is, seriously working on it.
All right, now, earlier I asked a question. Is this the reason for this collapse? Is it the cause of the adequate authorities that have been saddled with responsibilities to cross-check these buildings, or the negligence or greed on the side of the builders, owners, or developers?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you say that again, please?
Yes, I was asking that the collapse we've had in recent times, if this is a cause from the authorities having to cross-check these buildings, or from the part of the owners and the developers who in turn use substandard materials to erect their buildings.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, what do you think is the reason? Substandard materials or negligence on the side of the authorities that have been saddled with responsibilities to cross-check these buildings?
Well, most of our developers try to cut corners. There are so many agencies that they are supposed to, visit with whatever they want to do and, produce samples of whatever they want to use. There is a material testing, agency whereby they need to test and certify whatever materials you're going to use. Some of our developers, try to evade, such agencies. And like I mentioned earlier, I think our monitoring agencies need to do more. They need to do more. And wherever they close, they should ensure, that the place is closed. Not that they'll close the place today and the developer will open the site itself and start working without the knowledge of the monitoring agency. So the monitoring agency should they should fold their sleeves and do better than they are doing now. But I want to believe the problem is primarily that of the developers who are trying to maximize profit at the detriment of the safety of the people.
Okay. Now, some reports we have involving this building collapse have been reported, and most of them are around the waterlogged area, so more like the island. So is this a major contributing factor to the collapse we've had?
Well, it was not only on the island that we had collapse.
Majority of them.
So, sorry?
I think majority of them are on waterlogged areas that have been sand-filled before now.
Well, that could also be part of it. That could also be part of it, because you need to know the type of foundation to use per site.
Okay.
Wherever you need to pile, you have to pile. Where you need to do raft, you need to do raft. Where you need to do basic, foundation, you need to do that. So I think that could also contribute, a little to what we've been witnessing.
All right, finally, as we just wrap up the segment, having highlighted some of the problems, what solutions can be preferred to put an end to this building collapse in Lagos?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm saying, having highlighted the problems we are facing, what solutions can be preferred to put an end to this incessant building collapse in Lagos?
Sorry, I didn't get your last question.
Solutions that you can prefer to put an end to this building collapse in Lagos?
Well, I think we should have stricter measures,
okay,
for monitoring all these sites. Yeah, we should be stricter than we are. Than we do presently in terms of monitoring development within the state, and any sites that refuse to get full planning approval should be closed, and if possible, maybe the government should even take over such sites,
right,
to act as detriment to the other people, because I think maybe they've not been getting enough punishment. That's why they keep on committing all these offenses. So I think monitoring, we should work more on monitoring.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Ayodeji Joseph, for sharing your thoughts on News Now.
You're welcome.
All right, and moving further, the federal government has uncovered 14 assets, including shopping malls, a residential estate, a polo playground, lands and farmlands belonging to a former commander, intelligence response team, ABBA KYARI, a deputy commissioner of police. KYARI was said to have failed to disclose his ownership of the properties in different locations in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and Maiduguri, Borno State. Over 207 million naira and were also discovered in his various accounts in GTB, UBA, and Sterling Bank. In the first 24 counts charges filed against KYARI by the Director of Prosecution and Legal Services, the Attorney General of the Federation stated that the suspended DCB allegedly disguised his ownership of some of the properties. He added that the financial investigation which extended to his properties led to the filing of charges for non-disclosure and conversion of large sum of money. The Commander Lagos State Rapid Response Squad CSP Saheed Egbeyemi has advised parents to give proper upbringing to their children and wards in order for them not to indulge in cultism and drugs. CSP Saheed Egbeyemi made the call during a campaign against the illicit use of drugs and cultism organized by a non-profit organization known as Agege Molebi Forum in Lagos State. KYARI has more details.
Over 14.5 million Nigerian youths indulge in illicit drug activities. This group behind me says they are going to do what it takes to ensure that the number is reduced.
The RRS commander and members of the Agege Molebi Forum, while sensitizing youths in the area, said the end point of drug abuse and cultism is death and a wasteful life.
What we are doing today is, instead of engaging you maybe brutally, it's just a campaign for them to shun cultism, that there's no gain, nothing in cultism, nothing in taking drugs. The moment you join cults, that will be the day your problem starts. The other rival will start chasing you. If you are in Aye now, Aye will be chasing you. You are in Aye, Aye will be chasing you, and they'll be killing each other.
Drug kills. He has sent a lot of people into graves, and we know what he has done to even not only guys smoke are on hard drugs now. We have ladies on hard drugs.
The most productive segment of our population, which are youth, 40% of them engaging in drugs. You know what it means for the country.
We are saying no to drug because Agege in particular, they don't make Agege to be habitable. If you want to come to Agege, you will need to go and pray before you can come to Agege. Everybody is scared. Our children cannot go out in the night again. Even ladies, they are afraid of coming out because they know that if you go out, they may rape you.
Giving us a bad image outside this country, especially Agege. That Agege is a hideout of criminals and all those stuff. All this Awawa, cultism, all those stuff. So that is why we deem it fit to organize this work.
At each stop of the sensitization work, we came across young people who are addicted to drugs.
I got into drugs earlier last 2 years, and I was influenced through friends. And I actually take the one called BK, Banku, known as Bana in Yoruba language. It has really affected me educationally, and it has made me lost a lot of friends, a lot of things, and has also made me lost who I am today.
It's our parents that cause many things for us to come outside and be doing things like this. It's not something that I like.
Since when I get to eat drug, I'm going down. I'm not going far. If not be drug, some of my friends where are not taking drug, they are fat than me. Then buy house, then buy motor, then marry. If they not be drug, if I don't pass this level, why are they now?
On his part, the Olu of Agege, His Royal Majesty Oba Oyedeji Isiba, said all hands must be on deck to reduce the activities of drug traffickers and cult groups in the area.
What matters most is education. Yes, sir. And total guidance of the children. That is, if there is no work, as there is no work now, let the children get something doing. When they get something doing, their mind will not go go to crime.
Despite the fight against drug traffickers and drug abuse by the NDLEA and other security agencies in the country, cases of drug abuse continue to be on the increase. Warrior, reporting for iBrandTV News.